Hello.
Hope you're well. It's good to see some of you on here live. So yeah, do say hi, right, live or replay, so I get a good feeling of who's watching it when. That would be wonderful. Um, so do you struggle in this area? I'm talking about how we stop sweet cravings. So yeah, I'd love to know what your experience is and when the cravings come and what you crave. Is it at specific times of day? Is it in specific situations? Is it specific foods? If you could let me know below, that would be fabulous. And perhaps if you do crave sweet things, type sweet. If you don't, maybe type savory or whatever. Let me know. Okay, so welcome to this video. My name's Gaynor. I'm from FitFish, and I'm a nutritionist who specializes in helping people with their eating behaviors. So in today's session, we're talking about how to stop sweet cravings, how to overcome those sweet cravings and gain control of your eating habits. It can feel like you're out of control when you start eating sweet stuff, like you're thinking about food constantly, and like all of your hard work goes to waste when you consume several Garibaldi biscuits or a bar of chocolate, and then you feel like a failure and that you'll never break the cycle. It can be really frustrating. And I know because I've definitely been there too. So, first thing is remember you have a choice. It's absolutely fine if you want to carry on in this way. Okay? It's your choice. It's your choice. Of course, there are consequences to our actions, but if you want to carry on like that, God has a plan B. It will be okay. Okay, so you have a choice, you have free will. You can carry on with these behaviors. If you want to, you can live with them. I want you to understand that it's your choice and it can come from you. Or you can choose that you don't want to and you want to make changes. And it will take a little bit of effort. The hard road gets easier, but the easy road gets harder. So you can continue as you are, but it might get a bit harder on you emotionally and it might get harder on you physically as well. Or you can put a little bit of work in now and it will get easier later on. Okay, so firstly, it's important to understand the root cause of these sweet cravings. And only then can we address them effectively because there's different reasons why we do it. So, my first advice to lots of people when I work with them on a one-to-one level and in my group programs would be an observer to start with, to just observe, I always get that word wrong, to observe what's going on. So maybe make some notes, maybe just take interest. This happens when this has happened, or this happens when I walk into this room, or every time I drive past the shop, I get this urge to go in, buy stuff, eat it later. So what is it that's happening? Try and work out what's actually going on can be really, really helpful. Is it because you've restricted yourself all day? So either with not enough food or not enough of a variety of food. So that makes your taste buds and your whole body really cry out for something that's going to satisfy you. Is it because you've made sweet foods or sweet treats out of bounds, or feel like they're a bad food? So then you want them even more and you crave them even more. Is it because you're stressed? You're constantly craving sweet stuff throughout the day because you have this low level stress going on, which we've looked at before, which means that different hormones get released, but they never get the chance to clear. So the hormone that makes you eat more after the stress has gone to recover from the period of not eating is always there. The period of not eating goes away quickly, but the period of the hormone that says eat more is constantly released. So perhaps it's coming from stress. Is it because life just seems a little bit crazy and you want to get back some control and some satisfaction? Maybe someone's hurt you, maybe someone's offended you, maybe you're frustrated by something, and having something sweet helps you to feel that you're back in control. Is it because your palate just feels like it needs something sweet? So it's quite common after a meal to just feel like you need something sweet. Is there something in your life that you're struggling with and eating makes you feel better? It fills that hole. It feels like you're having a hug, a warm hug? What is it? Or has it just become a habit? Is it something that you just do at certain times? Or is it something that you do and you just don't know why? So, our bodies are designed to crave sweet foods. The only sweet foods available until, well, several decades of years ago were fruits and vegetables. Our bodies are designed to crave these foods. Fruit and vegetables are sweet. But mankind has realized that they're sweet and has taken that sweetness and amplified it and made it into other things that are even sweeter. So it intensifies the feeling that we get from them, and it hits all those spots in the brain that used to make us think, oh, I need to eat fruit and vegetables. Now it's like, I need to eat that chocolate, those sweets, that pastry, whatever it is. So first of all, just realize it's natural to crave sweet things, because that was our body's way of making sure that we got the vitamins and minerals that we needed. But also be aware that mankind has tweaked that and made things a lot more intense and explosive than they were ever meant to be. Oh, just lost the headpiece. Earpiece even. So what kind of strategies can we look at to overcome these sweet cravings? Excuse me, just in case that one has the microphone on. So first of all, it's important to eat a good balance, to consume regular balanced meals and snacks to avoid that extreme hunger or feeling that we're deprived. And a wide variety of different natural foods, including herbs and spices, that can really satisfy our taste buds and make sure that they're satisfied. And also allowing yourself to have some of these sweet treats that you desire in moderation and with flexibility, and making sure that you can eat these kind of things without guilt and build them into your way of eating for life, because this is how you want to be eating for the rest of your life, and that is how you become free, because it's your way of eating. So how can you build them in anyway to your weekly diet, as it were, to your monthly diet, however you eat normally? How can you build them in? Can you have them in slightly more controlled circumstances? I know some people start by saying, actually, I do a lot of secret eating. I'm going to still eat the same foods, but I'm going to eat them around other people. And that's how they start to include them more in their lives, and then crave them and desire them less. Have you thought about alternative options? So anything that's natural and homemade is going to be a healthier alternative, as well as, of course, fruit, vegetables, things like dark chocolate. But homemade snacks are going to contain ingredients that you recognize and know. So how about some alternative options? Even things like frozen grapes can really meet those sweet cravings, because you can suck on them like a boiled sweet. Have you tried fit fish cakes? Have you tried fit fish chocolate? Have you tried just a little tiny piece of dark chocolate and then just wait 10 minutes? Has that taken the edge off it? Of course, if you're stressed, stress will lead you to crave foods, and particularly sweet, salty, and starchy foods. So we can't really do anything about the eating, because the cravings are really going to be there until we've done something about the stress in our lives. So what kind of techniques can you use to eliminate or modify the stress going on in your life? Can you engage in more exercise, in more hobbies? Can you speak to someone? Can you journal more? Can you pray more? Can you speak to your GP? And what about other support? So if you struggle with emotional eating, can you get some help from a counselor, from a therapist, from your GP? Can you consider doing something like the Healthy, Whole and Free course, where you work through some of your emotional eating concerns? And when we on the course, we look at meeting the original needs. So there's a reason why you're emotionally eating, and why is that, and how can we meet the need in other ways? How can we emphasize with how we're feeling, and have empathy for ourselves, and allow ourselves to experience the emotion rather than trying to cover it up with food? Often it comes down to limited beliefs as well. Perhaps you're self-sabotaging by reaching for another packet of biscuits or another bag of sweets because you don't really believe that the alternative is going to help you or there's going to be much change. Perhaps you've tried to get healthy and lose weight before and it hasn't happened. So subconsciously, you're stepping in and self-sabotaging. So you can say, see, I told you so. And your brain is proving again what it already believes. So are you stuck in some kind of pattern of limiting beliefs? It'd be worth challenging those. What about your habits? Is it just habitual? Every time you go into the kitchen, you go to the cookie jar. Sounds a bit American, to the biscuit tin. How can you make that different? How can you make it harder to get to the biscuit tin? Can you walk in a different room? Can you hide the biscuit tin? Can you have an alternative instead? Can you change the trigger so you're just not seeing it or you're not doing the thing that happens before you reach for a biscuit? How can you make it less rewarding? Can you dwell on the other things it will bring to you, not just the taste, but actually it might make you feel a bit bloated or might give you an energy crash? Can you focus on those things? But remember, if you choose to have sweet things, the only purpose then really is enjoyment. So if you choose to have sweet things, which we will all do, then have it and enjoy it. The minute some guilt creeps in or any other feelings, then that's a bit of a warning sign that you've had too much or it was inappropriate. But you can enjoy these things without guilt. Enjoyment and guilt don't go together. They're not friends. So if you choose to have things, enjoy without guilt. So remember, you can carry on eating the sweet things that you are. But if you don't want to, how can you make the consumption of sweet things less appealing? Can you focus on the longer term? Can you think about how good it would be to have freedom in this area? And when you're in a stronger place, so when you're not experiencing your cravings, how can you work on some of these thoughts, some of these actions, and make it easier for the time when you are in the moment? What kind of plans and strategies can you put into place? And it takes practice. This isn't going to happen at once. You're not going to leave this Facebook Live or this video that you're watching and never overeat on sweet things again. That's just not possible because that would be some kind of regime, strict kind of plan. It's not possible. So we need to learn from what's going on. So we need to observe what's happening. And then some of the time start doing alternative actions. So meeting the need in other ways, phoning a friend, having alternative, walking away. And then that will happen a bit more. Then it will happen the majority of the time. Then it will happen most of the time. So how can you just keep learning from your behaviors and gradually tweaking so it becomes your way of eating? So what is it for you? What's your exact scenario that's going on? I'd love to help you more specifically. So if you want to write in the comments what's going on for you, when you're craving, why you're craving, if you know, then that would be great. And I can offer you some more help and support. So write below and let me know. And I hope this has been helpful and I will speak to you soon. Take lots of care and bye-bye.